do some Yoshi's Island now, which, frankly, is a level I don't really understand how it works, but it is Yoshi. So, can't really go complaining, can we? I do think it's extra funny, too, because when I did the Yoshi's Woolly World video, I put the Sonic amiibo on there. And had a Sonic Yoshi running around, so that's extra funny to me now. Let me... So, like... I don't know when it comes to the story, because, like, is there a way you can throw? It's lost the eggs. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to be able to throw the Yoshi eggs at the enemies during this level. If there's a button for it, like, I haven't figured out what it is. So, frankly, I don't understand how this level works. But anyway, like, the core complaint in that video particularly, which I take as the, like, representative, like, arguments against this game, I guess. Like, oh, people say this game's bad, why? They never really say why, so that video is, like, tearing into that game, so I take that video as the, like, representation of what people's complaints against the game are, I guess. Like, maybe that guy was totally off base, and the consensus of Sonic haters saying, oh, this game is a bad Sonic game, is completely different from what he says in that video, but they always just go, oh, this game's bad because Sonic game bad Sonic game because bad Sonic game. So, gotta go with what the actual argument being put forth is. So I go based off of that video, and his argument is like some shitty, dumb shit about the gameplay, and like I've already talked about how, like, yeah, it doesn't do a superb job of explaining what its mechanics are, so I could see you going through the game and not really learning the intricacies, I guess. But, fuck off. Like, how are you supposed to get past those? Like, I don't know how to throw the Yoshi eggs. But, like, to me, I wouldn't necessarily disagree, because, like I said in Sonic Generations video, any Sonic gameplay that isn't like modern Sonic boost to win gameplay, damn it, fucked it up. Like, that is what Sonic should play like to me now, right? Like, I have seen, like, this is what Sonic should be, so anything that doesn't do that does feel kind of lacking to me. So I do play this, and I do go like, yeah, this isn't what I want Sonic to play like, right? So I do see, like, I don't disagree when it comes to that argument, but I also feel like that's not a problem with the game, right? The gameplay isn't bad just because, like, this isn't necessarily 100% what I want the gameplay to be. It's still perfectly, like, is the gameplay good? Yeah, for what it is, what it's going for. It's all, like, it's not failing to be the boost to win style of gameplay. It's going for a completely different thing, so fine, you know? Just because it's not my preference or to my taste doesn't mean the gameplay's bad. And again, there's, like, actually a lot of, like, depth, a shocking amount of depth to the gameplay as well. So the thing that, aside from the gameplay, the crux of that fucking video's argument is, a bad story or whatever the fuck that even means. Fuck, man. Like, anything that, like, tells me to use the touch controls, I'm like, no, I don't wanna. So, speaking of story, got another cutscene here. Oh, wait, no, we don't. What am I thinking of? So that's why I don't, like, your argument is this game is bad because of the story. Yeah, let's totally ignore everything else the game's doing. Obviously, there's no positive qualities to the game whatsoever. It's, like, once again, doing that thing of ignoring any anything good about the game whatsoever. Just pretending there's no positive qualities to the game at all. And just going like, oh, but they take the few flaws. Am I not even supposed to touch those guys? Like, they take the few flaws the game might have and exaggerate them out of control and say, like, look, now the game is, like, this game is terrible, everything about this is ruinous and atrocious because of these minor flaws that aren't actually a big deal. And just and act like the positive qualities of the game don't even exist. Like, there's no positive qualities whatsoever. There's nothing else in this game to supplement these minor flaws, which we are ballooning to an exaggerated extent. Woo! Like, there's no positive qualities to balance it out and say, like, okay, here are the merits to the game. No, it's just all this bad stuff, which we are pretending is worse than it actually is. Like, hey, let's not talk about this fucking really fun, fancy, bright, and colorful, vibrant level design. Look at this! Like, that's awesome! Like, just, like, look at what is on the screen right now. You won't find anyone acknowledging that, yeah, look at how fucking pretty this game looks. Even, hey, look, the egg ponds actually have fucking animals in them. So, again, I don't know what's going on. Why don't the badniks have animals in them anymore? Someone explain this to me. Yeah, it's like the gameplay is clearly going for a classic 2D style in 3D. It even has the run button feels like Mario. Mario games have a run button. You hold down the button and Mario starts running. It really actually does kind of feel like a Mario game to me, funnily enough. So, like, gameplay complaints aside, their complaints are, oh, the story's bad, and I don't see that. Like, the core of the argument against the gameplay seems to be, oh, the Zeti aren't good villains, and the comedy isn't good, I guess. Like, it's not funny, so therefore it's bad, I guess. Like, even for this, no, there's not. There's nothing wrong with a Zeti. I don't see those complaints at all. Shut up. But B, even if for the sake of argument we acknowledge we would agree that the Zeti are bad, which they're not, but let's say for the sake of argument that they are, so what? Like that, like having one bad element about the game's story doesn't make the entire thing bad. It means that one element is bad. They're the quirky mini-boss squad. Okay, they're not super great, interesting, in-depth characters. Okay. So, like, the story picks up the slack in other areas. It's not like the game is only about the Zeti. In fact, that's one of the reasons you could say against the Zeti, is it actually doesn't go enough into what their deal is. It never really explains what they are or where they're from, or like what the deal with them is. They really aren't fleshed out at all, which again, I agree, that is a thing that the game doesn't do. But, I mean, it's not like it tried to do it and failed, it just didn't bother at all. So clearly their priorities were elsewhere. And the game story does pick up the slack in other areas, I would say. Like, it's not like this game story is only the Zeti. What else? Who else is in this game? Sonic, Tails, Eggman, and guess what? I think some really fucking fancy stuff happens in the story with those characters. Fuck you, crab meat. Like, for one thing, like, the thing with, like, Sonic's always been a look before you leap type of character who doesn't, like, think... He's not dumb. That's something I like about him, actually, is when it comes to, like, shonen action protagonists, like, you know, Goku or Naruto or, you know, any kind of, like, anime aimed at young boys, which is what shonen is, you'll have the main character be kind of a fucking idiot. Like, you will have a straight-up stupid, boneheaded, dense, like, not very intellectually focused main character. Like, Goku gets exaggerated, he's not as stupid as, like, memes make him out to be nowadays, but he's not, like, the brightest bulb in the fucking box, right? Naruto's just straight up a dumbass. Luffy is a simple guy. Like, he's not stupid either, but... like, they're not high-minded guys, right? And Sonic's not known for his smarts either, but he's not rock fucking stupid. And that's one of the things I like about him. Like, it doesn't fall into that stereotype. He looks before he leaps. No, he doesn't look before he leaps. He leaps before he looks. He's not the kind of guy who, like, thinks his action through. He doesn't, like, okay, let's weigh the pros and cons, let's try and figure out what we're gonna do here. No, he's just like, I'ma do it. I'ma do the thing. Like, what has his theme song always been, right? I'm just living by my own feeling, where I don't give in, won't compromise, I only gotta step back on the goal, etc. Right? And that's always kind of worked out in the past, right? Like, it's never posed a problem having a character who's, like, action first, think second, if at all. Like, he's a man who lives by his deeds and what he does. He doesn't, like, spend time, like, deliberating. He just does it. Fucking Eggman gotta, I don't know what's going on, but I know what I'm gonna do. I mean, he's a character who broke the laws of time and space by accident, without even realizing it, just through sheer force of will. There's definitely, like, positive merit to that kind of mentality. But there are, like, drawbacks to it as well. And we just saw in the last cutscene we had where he kicked the conch out of Eggman's hands, where he's like, well, fuck you. Like, experience taught me to investigate anything that glows. Like, Eggman's got something, fuck you, I'm gonna break it, because that can only result in good things. And Sonic, like, kicked his conch away, and now everything that happens from here on out with the plot that the Zeti do is kind of Sonic's fault. That's interesting. We're actually getting into, like, the consequences of having a character with a mentality like that. That's cool. That's not exactly depth for Sonic's character, but it's more than that's been done with him before.
Me voice chips all cattywampus. Thanks to Sonic, everything's gone cattywampus. My cacophonic conch was the only thing keeping those 6 maniacs.
Cacophonic.
Some sort of a natural inhibitor to their powers. Very.
I like how they're just chilling out.
Rare. The Zeti have an innate ability to manipulate magnetic fields. They can make electronics, including my mechs, do interesting things. I controlled those powers with the conch until Sonic wanted it away with his typical stupidity.
All hail the magic conch.
Under control.
I hope the Zeti eat you alive, you meddling hedgehog.
Okay.
One might.
Pleases the court. All those who think Eggman is a total bonehead raise their hands.
Well, there you go, folks. Promotion is passed.
Tails' little smile. I live for that smile. Or about raise his hand a second time. That's great. I love Sonic and Eggman's relationship, by the way. Like, I talked about them before, but that's just such a crack up to me. Like, they don't have animosity against Eggman. That's funny. Like, for example, you know that meme that goes around, like, Eggman runs faster than Sonic in the Genesis game. Whenever Eggman is, like, being chased by Sonic, he's outrunning him. And someone point out, like, Sonic doesn't want to hurt Eggman. Like, he's not interested in that. He doesn't want to beat him up. He doesn't want to kill him or anything. He just breaks his mechanical toys, and that's it. He actually thinks it's really fun busting up Eggman's stuff. That's what he has a good time doing. He doesn't want to hurt Eggman. Here they are, like, here's Eggman standing there, helpless, still being a douchebag. And what are they doing? They're just casually talking to each other. Like, Sonic's like, okay, now that you're here helpless and you don't have control of your robots, I'm gonna take this opportunity to finish you off. No! Like, okay, you don't have your stuff, therefore, you are not a threat to me anymore, therefore, bye, right? And they just like say what you want about Sonic Boom, but one of the things that it gets is it kind of does nail the interpersonal relationship that Eggman and Sonic kind of have in a comedic way, but it's pretty accurate. Like there's not like they're antagonistic, but there's no animosity, which I think is fucking funny. At least on Sonic's part, Eggman wants to kill him.
It would seem the peaceful days of tending my garden will have to wait.
It's Pai Mei.
Take care of these matters the rest of you cannot.
Please, Master Zik. This is not something you should trouble yourself with. It's beneath you.
Now, don't be concerned. Get It'll be good to stretch these old bones.
It's Pai... Ah, he has the Force. It's Evil Yoda. It's fucking Pai Mei, which I guess makes the red guy. Fuck, I wish I could know his name. Bill. Anyway. Like, I've just always kind of cracked up by that relationship where fucking Eggman's like, fuck, I want to kill him so bad. And so I was like, yo, so-and-so, yo, sassafras. Like, it's just kind of a hilarious little relationship they seem to have. Anyway, like, hey, a Sonic game plot that's actually critical of Sonic's actions and behavior. Like, it's going like, hey, maybe having that kind of attitude isn't the best thing. Maybe you should actually fucking not be a dumbass. You know? Like, hey, haven't seen that before. And then also, who else is in the game? Eggman. This game actually has some of the best Eggman moments in the entire series, believe it or not. Like, look at those squirrels! Look at them, those squirrels, by the way. Look at them go. Really wish, like, you could do a little bit more with the camera in order to get a better close-up shot of these animal critters. It's got like a pseudo-isometric stuff. Even listen to that fucking music. Doesn't this sound like Super Mario Sunshine music? Look at them dancing. Yeah. Those squirrels. On this level, there are squirrels. Each fucking zone has different animal buddies. There we go. Oh god. I'm trying to talk about the story, but like, look at how great this level is. We got fruit. Giant fruit rolling around.
Youth is truly wasted on the young. And speed cannot defeat wisdom, little hedgehog.
We lead the fruit into these juicers and then ride the juice to the other little spheres. Isn't that, like, so interesting and inventive and creative? Like, what a fun little idea for a level.
See that? He enjoyed to cultivate his pain and make fertilizer out of it.
Ew. Like, it feels like we've gone back to the everyone put an idea in a box kind of mentality in the hat from Sonic Colors. Like, it feels like they really just decided to embrace it and just, like, what's the lost text? Who cares? Like, it's a nonsensical, like, video game environment where we can have levels like this, where we can have a winter casino that will show up in later, where we can have a desert land in a desert because of a pun, where we can have a tropical zone where we're making juice out of fruit and whatnot. Like, what great fun little levels, right? No one talk about those. No, just complain that they don't explain what the Lost Helix is, as if it fucking matters. Damn it! Oh, now I'm dead. For some reason, you can't really get a lot of distance on these jumps.
Seedling will never have a chance to bloom, I'll see that. He enjoyed to cultivate his pain and make fertilizer out of it.
Don't say fertilizer. But anyway, like, trying to talk about story, but get distracted by how great this level is. Like, you remember back in, like, this game has some of the best Eggman moments in the series. They're truly great moments. Like, do you remember back in Sonic Adventure 1, where during the conclusion of Tails' storyline, you had, like, the final boss Eggman, where he's in Station 3 and he's like, I'm so fucking pissed. I'm just gonna murder everyone right here, right now. And he had that line where he's like, get out of here before I make a meat out of you. And it was like, Jesus fuck! Eggman is pissed! And it was like, woo! Like, on that level, like, the Eggman moments in this game are, like, comparable to that extent, I would say. Like, there are some choice fucking Eggman moments in this game. And also, Tails! We have some wonderful Tails moments in this game, too. Not some of the best, because Tails has had some great moments throughout the series. Like, not, like... They're great, like, continuations of Tails' characterization since Sonic Adventure 2. Like, again, as I've explained, like, Sonic Adventure 2 was kind of where he reached his peak of characterization, and he has nowhere else to go, right? He's just, like, he's done. He's done developing, right? But, so, to me, character moments that are developing the character to a new, like, more developed state are, like, fucking, like, those are the best moments, kind of. But the moments in this game are, like, this is who Tails, like, that is his character now. He's not, like, he doesn't need to develop, he's not gonna develop anymore because he doesn't need to. This is just who he is now. So we get some great fucking, like, this is what makes Tails fucking Tails. Not the sidekick.
Your insults cannot penetrate my thick skin.
Like,
Moisturizers.
damn it. Like, he's not, like, not, fucking, come on, what is going on there? Like, he's not, like, not the sidekick. This is what makes Tails Tails. Instead of just a, I'm trying to imitate Sonic, this is what his deal is now. Moments, like, really some of the best, fuck yeah, Tails! That's my Tails, that's my Fox, that's my boy! Some of those kind of moments in this game. So, like, again, even if I wanted to admit for the sake of argument that the Zeti aren't anything special,
Prepare to be tested, young one.
like, so what? The game more than picks up the slack in other fucking regards. You know, it's not like they're the only thing in the game, and the game's fucked up at doing them, so therefore the quote-unquote story is bad. Woo! Like, shut the fuck up, you goddamn jackals. I'm fighting a little evil kung fu. Landed on double. I'm fighting an evil fucking kung fu guy who's shooting Hadokens at me and riding around a giant apple. I'm fighting Pai Mei, and I'm chasing him around on this torrential stream of apple juice, for crying out loud. What the fuck do you people want? Like, what do you want, man? Also, really fun because, like, Sonic just fucking like fucking paddywhacks over these guys, and that's just really fun. Like, they're the Deadly Six. Oh, they're so super strong and killer. And this guy is the leader's master, and he's the ancient master, and he's gonna fuck you up. Oh, Sonic's just gonna whoop his ass. I like, at the same time that the game is, like, actually putting Sonic as a character under a harsh scope, it's still pretty much like, yo, Sonic is a beast-ass motherfucker who is, like, every game he gets more powerful. Every game, he is exponentially, incrementally improving over what his power level was in the past.